Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome into Old Mountain Bricks. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the March 1st releases coming up in just a few days, as well as check in on Bricklink and see how they're doing. Looks like March 1st is definitely more exciting than January 1st was this year, so there's a lot of great sets coming out. And let's go ahead and just take a look, and I'll give you my thoughts on ones I would recommend picking up and just kind of see what price points are and some of the reveals that have come out here recently and see what we can get figured out. Coming soon sets is where we're going to start. This wave is filled with Star Wars and a few other things, so we'll just kind of go down the list as we see it, and I'll point out a few things. First ones that are coming out are these new 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars sets. First one on the list is this R2-D2 for $99.99 US dollars. Comes with the printed specifications plaque, another R2-D2, and a few extra attachments, and of course, and the other thing included with all of these 25th anniversary sets are individual minifigures that maybe don't go with the set, like this Darth Malik minifigure from the video games and such. The 20th anniversary did something similar with like the original trilogy with the yellow heads and everything, kind of like the classic Star Wars from 1999. But these ones are unrelated but really cool looking minifigures like this Darth Malik. But overall, the R2-D2 itself I think is just the right size, number of pieces, and for the price point. If you're really into it or really want that figure, I think that's a pretty good one to pick up. Another thing coming out, something I'm not really into, but these McLaren for the Formula 1. This one's just a really cool set, so if you're into something like this, it's $79. Comes with the unique minifigure and a printed little piece there with a quote from him on it. If you're into this kind of stuff, it just looks like a great system build. Oh yeah, so yeah, this is going to be great. Let's kind of keep going. It looks like we've got some more Harry Potter brick heads coming out, kind of like a Prisoner of Azkaban set. Comes with 5 of them. The Patronus looks really cool, and the Dementor, that's kind of cool looking. Here are some more of those Star Wars sets. These are really cool too. So these are like the MIDI scale, or I think they're calling it the Starship series now. There's one that came out last year. This one's the Invisible Hand from episode 3, like the Separatist ship or Grievous's ship. Just a cool looking set of this one as well. Comes with the printed plaque down there. So just a really fun looking set as well. I think if you're into Lego Star Wars and have like the display space for these, I mean, you're just going to want to pick up all these. I think this one's the cheapest one at $49.99. Another one coming up is the Tantive 4. This one's also interesting because it's $80, so $79.99. Comes with the same kind of brick and everything. No minifigures, but slightly bigger set, but more expensive. So that's kind of interesting, but the back looks really cool on this one. But this is, these are all coming out March 1st. So if you're into these like starships, these smaller scale, it's better than paying like $600 for like the Venator that came out. That's huge, and like I said kind of in one of my other videos, that you have to buy new furniture for in order to display it. This one, not too bad. And of course, this one will be very popular, I'm sure. The Millennium Falcon at $84.99. Again, the most expensive of this one. This one's fun because it's kind of, the stand has it at that angle like this, so you can see some more of the details, which is a great idea for the Falcon, because that's where a lot of the detail is. Looking at it just from the side is just kind of a sliver there, but this one I think looks really great as well. I can see there's a kind of a good example of the scale with this guy holding it here. Just looks great. I think a lot of folks are just going to want to pick this one up as a display piece. And of course, I'm not going to touch on all of these. If you're into Animal Crossing, the Lego Animal Crossing sets are finally here after being rumored for such a long time. This one is Isabelle's house. You can see these, these minifigures remind me of like Fabuland and such from back in the day. They're really interesting to look at. Looks like that's a printed piece there. So I think they're a little expensive for what they are, but they're not too bad. So, folks that are into this game, are really going to love these sets. It's not really geared towards something like me, for someone who likes more of the city sets and modulars and things like that, but I think these are really neat sets, and I'm glad they're just trying another IP and see kind of how it goes. Like, here's this thing here. it just seems kind of like a mess. Even if you were to display this, it's just not for me. Like, what would you do with all of this kind of stuff? So, unless you set up your own little village or something. Other ones, this is the big one. If I were to pick up any sets March 1st, I haven't decided if we're heading out to the Lego store or not yet. Stay tuned, but if I were to get one, this one would be it. The Medieval Town Square for $229.99, 3,304 pieces. So for the amount of pieces you're getting, this is a great deal at $230, basically. So let's kind of take a look at the little spin of it. technically an open back on that side. It can kind of close off, I believe, but of course it limits kind of the space when you do that. But wow, yeah, these are some great looking sets. Anybody who's into castle, or even kind of like just like for myself, I see this, it goes along with like the A-frame cabin, like the blacksmith. It just kind of fits in that area, and like in the Sanderson sisters cottage. I mean, all of these sets just look like they would go right together here. I mean, you see the detail with the cheese and some play features, sticker pieces, and of course, I don't know if any of these pictures show it. This is also the official return of the Lego Goat in a actual set outside of just like the CMF that's come out here recently. So if anybody's wanting to get the new Goat, this is where you're gonna get them. There it is. There's the Goat in the middle there. Like a painter, a tax collector, another Lionite, Wolfpack. Back in action there. That's really cool to see. I feel like we should have had a few more minifigures, maybe an animal or so, like a horse or an ox, but still a great looking set. That's definitely the top one, I think, for March 1st this year. Some new Harry Potter stuff. I think we took a look at one of these before, but this one's kind of fun. It's a little expensive, 172 pieces for $30, but you get those brick built, or you get those molded animals like Buckbeak and the Threstrel, and I think like a Pixie Fairy or something like that. So we've taken a look at the buildable Stitch before. This, I think it says coming soon, but I thought this was coming out on March 1st as well. But $64.99. We'll see if he comes out or not, but coming soon either way. A few other things you can see here. Some Ninjago. We're not really going to touch on that. This one's really cool. I think I am going to pick this one up at some point, the Ford Anglia. I think we've talked about this one before, but it is coming out March 1st. It's just great you can get this car in like a $14.99 US dollar set instead of having to buy a whole thing. These small things are great, and we need to keep doing more of those. Like I've talked about recently, like with the burger truck, or this carousel ride looks interesting. I don't think it's an official IP, but some folks have said it looks kind of like a GWP, but it's on there for March 1st. So maybe just a fun little thing there. Looks like some printed pieces. So it'll be fun to see what that looks like. Some Spider-Man sets, you know, so because all of those, anytime it's a 4+, it's always all printed pieces. So all of those look kind of cool. There's the other Animal Crossing set. Down here are some other fun Harry Potter sets. Let's take a look at. We've got another Hagrid's Hut. I know what you're thinking. Another one. But this one's really cool. Comes with a new Hagrid for the first time in forever. A Fang, some updated minifigures and such. This one can kind of hinge open, so it's got some more accessible play features. And I think it just looks like the most detailed one yet. Got a little Norbit, the little dragon in there. Look at Hagrid laying in his chair. I mean, I think Harry Potter's doing a great job. You know, I'm not a big Harry Potter Lego collector, but there's some good ones to it. Next, we've got this forest animal. This is coming out on March 1st as well. You know, 3-in-1. You can do the fox, owl, or a squirrel, and all three of them look great. I mean, if you're into this kind of thing, it's going to be a great looking display piece. Especially, you know, for $49.99, not the worst. Next, you got another Hogwarts set. This is the boathouse. This is kind of interesting. You know, comes with some minifigures, just a side build. They're doing this new thing where you can kind of build a big castle, I think. I don't know. Time will tell if this was worth getting on, because it's kind of like the modular buildings. If you didn't get the boathouse when it first came out, you're never getting it again. You know, one of those kind of things. I think they're trying to make you have some FOMO of missing out kind of thing. Here's another Animal Crossing, Julian's birthday party. Another Mercedes Formula 1 car. I think this one's a bit more Technic, looks like. So, I mean, this is one of the bigger ones there. Yeah, see, it's like about twice the size. That's why it's $219.99. So, again, not for me, but folks are into that. I mean, I'm glad they're doing all of that there. Just a little sea animals 3-in-1 looks like. I mean, for $30, you know, you can kind of do a couple of different things. I mean, that fox was way better than this thing, but still a fun set at a decent price. Here's the Hogwarts Owlery. Here's the Hogwarts Owlery. Just some interesting, you know, owls in there, some printed pieces, Finch, something like that. And Cho Chang, Harry kind of with the long hair. Yeah, kind of weird with the open back. I understand why it is, but again, not really for me here. Another Ford Mustang looking thing, a big old Technic Mars crew. Look at this thing. $149.99. Just some big old Technic beasts that can go all over the place here. So definitely a lot of fun functions on there. Sorry the audio cut out for just a minute there. We're going to head over to Bricklink and take a look at the designer sets coming up. You have until February 28th at noon Pacific time. So if you're interested in the last two sets, definitely check those out. The other ones we looked at the other day are sold out, meaning the train shed, the mountain fortress, and the snack shack. I was able to pick up the train shed and the snack shack. The general store is still sitting there, along with the Parisian street with the open back. They've been funded, so they are going to get made, but they didn't reach, I think, the 30,000 limit, which was higher than normal. All the other ones have always been 10,000, so I wouldn't say this is a knock on these, but definitely these other ones were more popular than these. Apparently Western isn't as popular, and even something like this, which seems like it would be, but the open back, I think, just turned off a lot of people. So make sure you do check these out if you're interested in them, because I'm sure once they close down, the aftermarket's going to be a lot more expensive than what you're seeing here. I think they said it'll come out in about July or so. Okay, and the last set I want to take a look at today, the other big one for March 1st, is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs Cottage. $219.99 coming out March 1st, officially, you know, if you are a VIP person or insider. Just another cool looking set. I mean, the roof looks really cool. I know that's kind of a newish technique they've kind of been using a few times over. Comes with a bunch of minifigures. I think 10, right? Seven dwarves, Snow White, Prince, and the old hag. As you can see, the big knock on this set is the open back, which is disappointing. I've seen some folks, they'll say, well, would you have paid for it for another $50? And maybe. You know, to have it look good in the city, I think I might have, because it just doesn't really look that good from the back. You know, a lot of folks, if I end up picking this up for my city, I don't know, because I have a few other things that have this, but things like the A-frame and like even the Sanderson sisters cottage we talked about earlier, well, all those are closed in, so you'd have to do some modification to do this. You can see, but there's a lot of great detail in the set. You know, open back aside, there's the well where they meet in the movie. This is kind of interesting. They have Snow White and her glass coffin. Interesting for Lego. Here's a look at all the minifigures. Let's see if I can... we're going to see if I can name all these guys. I think that's Dopey, Sneezy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, and Doc. Grumpy, Doc, Snow White, and Prince Ferning, something like that. The Prince guy. So not too bad, but they all look really great. It's interesting because in the movie they have such really big noses, so when you don't have them here, they just look kind of silly, but I think it won't be too bad. Here's kind of it in person. Interesting set. I don't know if it's directly for me. It's definitely not a March 1st pickup. Looks like a good set. When we were looking at the medieval village earlier, that one to me feels like a better set than this one, just my opinion. Just wish it had the closed back. I think they haven't officially announced what the GWPs are going to be for March 1st, but I think there's going to be a new like Houses of the World promo, maybe some poly bags and such there. So make sure you do check the LEGO website as far as any of those. But I think that's going to do it for today. Of course, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure you do like and subscribe. Comment down below what you're going to be picking up March 1st or coming out soon in March when you're able to get to the store there. But until next time, I appreciate you coming by Old Mountain Bricks today. Have a good one.